Welcome to the Aura Evolution Podcast, a sacred place for you to return home to your soul. I'm Helen Yeaplan, founder of Helen Creates Beauty and the author of the Aura Color Wheel. This podcast is a sanctuary from soul discovery to soul mastery. Each week, we explore aura wisdom, spirit connection, and energy tools to help you embody your light and live your soul's purpose with clarity, joy, and fulfillment. Take a deep breath. Welcome home.
Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to the Aura Evolution Podcast. Today we have a special guest. I'm so excited to bring her on, and we're going to talk about what it means to live your soul's purpose fully. And before I introduce her, I want to let you know that the Aura Evolution Sanctuary membership is, I just launched it last week, and we are going to meet next Thursday, February 5th. So I want to invite you to check out this Soulful membership community. It's a monthly gathering that, so I'm just going to show it to you. Ta-da! I will put a link in the chat. It's a very soulful offering that is guided by my spirit team for you to support your soul's evolution journey. So it's a live, ongoing monthly meeting that every month we are going to practice or embody a particular aura layer or energetic practice to support you to raising your vibration level, no matter you're healing a wound, learning a soul lesson, or embodying your soul gift. Because in the past, in my personal spiritual practice and also my clients and students, they often comment that, now I learned the knowledge, now I have the insight. How do I do the practice, like in my everyday life, right? And this evolution sanctuary membership, it's a monthly gathering for a community so that we can work on a particular practice, every month. For example, how do I connect with my spirit team? And last week, we actually have a soulful feng shui crystal grid to manifest our New Year intention. Like, how do we manifest this intention after we place the crystal grid? Like, now what? How do I quantum jump to the next level of ourselves so that we manifest our intention? So these are really energetic practices that we do it day in and day out. And there will be a community portal where you can ask me questions and share with each other insights so we can support each other's growth. So I really want to see you inside the membership. And our first meeting is going to be next Thursday, because Thursday is Jupiter's Day. So I always like to do spiritual practices on Thursdays, every first Thursday morning of the month. And we are gathering from 10 to 11 a.m. Pacific time. And this is the link to join us. And I hope to see you in there. And then today, I am going to bring on our guest, Amy Sikarskie, into the discussion to talk about what it means to have an aligned living with your soul's purpose. Now, Amy is an internationally recognized channeler, energy therapist, mentor, and the host of the Spirit and Soul Healing Soul. I love her soul. I was a guest on her soul. That's how we get connected. She helps others to remember who they are as they awaken to their soul's gifts and life mission. Through energy therapy, intuitive guidance, and spiritual mentoring, she helps others activate and fine-tune their clear senses and heal their energy body and connect with their spirit team in spirit for loving guidance and support. So now let's welcome Amy to our podcast. Hi, Amy. Yay.
Hi, Helen. Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're going to have a very soulful conversation. But before that, do you want to share our exciting news that, people can meet us in person and work with us?
Yeah, I'm so excited. So Helen and I will be at the Conscious Life Expo in LA in February. It's the 20th to the 22nd, and we're both speaking. So that's even more exciting. Yeah. So
Yeah,
we'd love
that's
for you
right.
to join. Right.
Yeah. Let me put it so we have like a little banner. I will be speaking on February the 20th at 6 p.m. It's Friday. It's the Conscious Life Expo, and Amy is going to speak on Saturday at 2 p.m. on 21st. And we both have a booth 153 in the Conscious Life Expo. You can come give us a hug, sign your books, and talk to us. It will be a really soulful gathering there. And also, my book, The Aura Color Wheel, got into the finalists as the book award finalist. So this week is actually the last week to vote for the award. So would really appreciate you. Takes 10 seconds, literally takes you 10 seconds, and you don't need to sign up anything to vote. So here's the link. You can grab the link. You can probably already vote for now. So this is really exciting that Amy and I will be, there in person, and you can talk to both of us and come join both of our lectures. So, okay, great. So it's in LA. So if you want to escape the snow, get some sun right now. It's an ideal time.
Oh
Now,
my
since
gosh.
this podcast is live, so one fun thing is that if you're joining us live, during the discussion between me and Amy, if you have any questions that's directly related to what we're talking about, you're welcome to put it in the chat. We can answer it there, right? Okay, so great, Amy. So I would like to, I always want to ask my guests, the first question is that, have you taken the Soul Aura Color quiz? And, what soul gift archetype are you? And do you resonate with the reading?
Yes. Oh my goodness. So I took it when your book first came out,
Uh-huh.
and I was Lyme. And I did. I was like, "Oh, that's amazing." It's very fascinating. I love, of course, I think a lot of us love quizzes and discovering about ourselves, and it really aligned. It lined up. And so last night preparing, I took it again, and this time I'm forest. So I thought that was so cool to see, the transformation. And I will share that the first time I took it, I was listening, or I was reading the questions and tuning in, and I was feeling like, oh, I can see all the progress, because some of the questions were applicable years in the past.
Mm.
And so it's like I could see how I've healed, and I found that really fascinating. So yes, I do resonate with it. And Lyme, I feel like you were sharing, was about business and
Entrepreneur, soul gift archetype. Yep.
okay, entrepreneurial. So perfect. That that aligned. I mean, it still does, but it's fascinating how coming over to forest with visionary. So I'm
Yes.
seeing that come to the forefront. So
Yeah.
I do resonate with it. I think it's amazing.
Yeah, that totally actually also reflects of what you're doing. You're
Mm.
literally embodying it. Because for visionary, the third eye is one of the strong aura layers, and you are a clairvoyant channeler. And also for entrepreneur, soul gift archetype that you had at the beginning, that require a strong throat chakra. And you also, do channeling. So I find that very resonating. It's exactly that's what you are, what you're embodying. So that's why that's so cool. So before we get into deeper into how to align with your purpose, I really want to know your origin story, right? Like, are
Yeah.
you born kind of already psychic and doing this type of thing, or it's more like later on it developed? What brought you to today that to do what you're doing right now, basically?
Right. As I look back in time, I feel like I've had the gift, but I didn't really know it. It
Mm.
was kind of commonplace, and I grew up in a religion, so it was spoken about as like the Holy Spirit, the intuition, the guidance, which I think that's a beautiful, it kind of, I'm like, yeah, I resonate with that. I could see that for sure. So, what happened, of course, growing up, I didn't really think about angels too much, or guardian angel. It just wasn't really in my awareness. let alone spirit guides, ascended masters, just whoever was in the religious books that I would read.
Mhm.
And when I was in high school, I had a life event change. So my parents divorced, and I was looking for emotional regulation, really, and some kind of support, and to know that the world isn't falling apart. It's like I'm the oldest of 5, and it was a lot of pressure.
Wow.
Looking back now, I know, being empathic, I was feeling everybody's energies and psychically tuning in
Right.
to all of the chaos and the emotions and everything in this collapse of family marriage. So I was driving one day, and this was before, I think I might have had a cell phone. I don't know. Like, I had a pager. We're going way back.
Yeah, that's right.
But no GPS and no like data where you can scroll on the phone and get directions. So I was at the stoplight, and I just said to whoever was up there, I was like, I need help. Like, this is wild. I need help. This is just too much. So I felt this intuitive pull, and I didn't know where I was going, but I just would turn where I felt called to drive. And I ended up going up to, so it was like up this part of this mountain and then down a one-way road and turn into this little old house that's now a shop. And
Oh,
and spirit led me there. I was like, this is
wow.
interesting. I've never been here. Yeah, one-way road, this whole way to get there. I go in, and it's angels everywhere,
Wow.
crystals everywhere, oracle cards, incense. I mean, I was like at a Reiki shop and it was amazing. I had no idea. It was my introduction to all
Wow.
of spirituality. Yeah. And the peace that I felt in the music, and just like you could feel the energy going in. So that's where I first had an introduction. And I was a little cautious too, because they had the incense called Dragon's Blood, and it freaked me out when I read the title. Like, I didn't know.
Yeah, I remember that when I saw it the first time. I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Were
and
you
then
a teenager then? Like around what age were you then?
I would have been 17. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, and then to make it more interesting, around the corner was where the lady was checking everybody out, and she said out loud to the whole shop, "Somebody's scared. I feel somebody's afraid." And I was like,
Wow.
"Oh my gosh,"
Wow.
I'm so young. I was like, "Wow, okay." But I didn't, like, let it freak me out too much. And I saw they had a flyer about Reiki. So sometime later I came back for a free Reiki session, and
Mm,
that changed everything for me, because yeah, I
okay.
had a really profound vision during it. I had, this is my first time. I had this being come in. I could see her. She was talking to me, talking about forgiveness and how to heal through what's happening at the home life. And really, like, one of the major things was how I think when we're young, we think our parents are perfect. I
Yeah.
looked up to them like they can't make any mistakes. And so whatever they were doing was like consciously harming or hurting. And it didn't, so the angel being who came through was just showing everybody's human, and my parents have their struggles too, and it like brought this sense of like peace where I could just release any of the tension, because I didn't know how to navigate all of it. And I think I, in the process, cleared a lot of their emotions I was holding. So it was huge. It was such a
Yes.
profound time. And that's where it started. And that's where I had probably my first, well, it was my first vision of that kind, but I know spirit spoke to me when I was younger also. So yeah.
That's absolutely beautiful. Thank you for sharing. It's kind of fascinating. It's like we need some kind of like help, in our life, and then you open up the channel. You literally is like whoever is there, you started to give permission, and then spirit show you the way. Hey,
Mhm.
so okay, here it comes. And is that when you begin your Reiki practice then? Because it's helping you a lot?
I was really interested in it, and I was really young. So I think I would just do sample sessions, like mini sessions at the shop, and
Mhm.
get my chakras balanced. They also had a crystal light table, which was amazing. So I would
I
do
love that.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the Reiki. And so I was 17, but then in 2001, I was married with our daughter. So I was 21, is when I trained in Reiki,
Mm.
and it was an invite from my stepmom.
Oh,
She said,
wow.
yeah, she said she knew a lady who was teaching the class. Did I want to join with her?
Wow.
And so it was amazing. Yeah, so I joined with her through level 3, And shortly after, we ended up moving out of state. So everything aligned. I really feel like Spirit led the way. And that's part of what, we're talking about today, is when the opportunities come, I feel it's our, it can be challenging, but really it's our duty to follow those opportunities to step into that frequency of our soul path. And I had no idea. I didn't have any context to this type of work. I knew I wanted to be in the healing space. So in high school, all my studies, well, aside from photography and art, because I love that, was healthcare. So I was a member of like the healthcare clubs and studying, biology and science for health. And later, like when I became a nurse, it, assisted with that. But I feel like the spiritual healing is really my strong pull and calling, and the therapies through spiritual guidance too. So that's what I excel in, really, is doing the readings and seeing things out of alignment and being able to get information as to where did this come from? Like, how did this disruption begin in the body? And sometimes it's, experiences in this life, and sometimes it's past life. But yeah, to answer your question, I started with Reiki in 2001, and then it's, all the other gifts turn on. I didn't even know all the gifts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I love that. Well, because listening to your story, I find a lot of parables of my personal journey into spirituality similar to yours. I wasn't also grow up like spiritual or religious in any way, right? So then the first stop I found was yoga and meditation. I'm more towards starting from meditation, and then always something in the background, just like you, practicing, doing mini sessions, and I'm doing, crystal healing, and learning different spiritual wisdom to discover the self. And then why I'm doing a profession. So for me, it was interior design, and for you was nursing and healthcare, right? So it's like you have kind of a job still kind of in the forefront, but in the back end, there is always some, spiritual practice kind of going parallel, until to a point that you kind of find the confidence, like, wow, I feel like I get more and more information out of it. It seems like this is really going to help people. Now the natural next question I'm really curious about is that when is that, decision point in your life that, okay, so, this is no longer in the background. This is actually what I really need to do. Like it need to come to the forefront. When is that decision point for you?
Yeah. I never lost it, right? So I was always taking the nursing classes, but reading past life books.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, that's like me. Always something going in the back, but we are not like announcing it, saying that, hey, I'm a past life, therapist, hypnotherapy.
Yeah.
Not yet. But when is that like conscious decisions? Like, okay, this is actually my calling or my profession, rather than in the background.
Yeah. So when our children, we have two, boy or daughter and then son, in that order. When they were going to school, I went to nursing school. So we started young. I met my husband at 19, had our daughter at 21. So our first. So
you finished the family business.
we did a little backwards. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when they started school, I went to school. I mean, I had gone private or previously, but yeah, so I finished, and then I took the nursing job. And right when I graduated, my husband also finished with his master's, and we moved out of state, and we ended up moving from Michigan to Alabama. And we moved right into the Bible Belt. And my type of spiritual beliefs, no, don't talk about it. Like it didn't feel like really aligned to the community. So I had my nursing job there, which I really, really loved. And then we moved to Texas, and that was a divine move from Spirit. And the moment I landed in Texas, actually on the airplane, I heard it really loud in my head, this voice say, "Welcome home."
Wow.
Yeah, and I could feel the energy shift. I don't know if you who are sensitive can feel, but every time I fly, there's certain states, and like right when you enter, before you're even at the airport landing, I can feel the energy shift. And I felt it shift when I entered Texas, but then as I got closer, we were in San Antonio. And that is when I was like, okay, I feel a sense of like a lot more opportunity here. And for the first week living there, I enrolled in classes just to refresh. So I took some angel channeling classes, and then I took another advanced course in energy work, which is earth based. So I was doing that, and I focused on that, and then I took a nursing job side by side. And the moment I decided it was time to switch was when I had too many requests for sessions. I couldn't do both. My schedule wouldn't allow, because I was fitting clients in outside of my nursing hours. And it's like I knew I could feel it building. And then one day Spirit said, okay, it's time. So I put my 2 weeks in, and my whole schedule for Reiki just was like completely full. So
Wow.
it was guided. Yeah. And that's one thing, when we feel that calling, I say, make sure you have a plan.
Yes, I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
So, can you share a little bit about like what are the signs of alignment? Like although you feel like it's glided, it sounded like pretty much of a flow. You were not resisting it, So, what are the signs that you can pick up along the way? Then, especially every decision point that you need to make, right?
Yeah.
Like, where do you live? What is it? What is it called? Like a job and things like that. Can you
Yeah.
share a little bit with us? Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you bring up such a good point too, because the move is a co-creation. So
That's right.
yeah,
Yeah.
we would move for my husband's career.
Okay. Oh, I see. Okay.
And it just lined up. But he and I are very like communicative. We talk, we're on the same page with everything. So it made sense. And we would have opportunities and we'd really feel into them, taking the intellectual knowledge and balancing that, pros and cons, but then feeling. And usually for us both, we'd get this immediate. We would know like this energy in our belly and heart would just like ignite, and the surge of light, that's how we would know this is the right choice if we have multiple options. And even after, like, we did move to California for a short period of time, and I knew we were supposed to be there. But then when we were there, we realized it's not our long-term place. So it's interesting, but that's when I wrote my book. It's in the, well, you can't see it on this, but the Starseed Ascensions Activating the Starseed, the purple one.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize at that time, but it took me away from in-person clients. So I had the space to channel a book. And so it's that surge of light that comes through. And I always ask tons of questions. We always ask a lot of questions. Does it make sense in the physical realm? Does it make sense for our like soul, interest? What are we called to? Will this place feel supportive? And that's with, and also at that time, schools had to have really good schools for our kids. So those were kind of our top priorities. Actually, the top was the school for the kids. Every time.
Every time.
Yeah, every time.
When you have a family, kids puts to the first. I understand.
Yeah, they were first. And then everything just fell into alignment, fell into place. But some of the signs were like having the opportunity come to me whenever I have a big opportunity, like the expo, Helen. The second I opened your email about the expo, I was like, I already knew it was happening, and I just had to process the energy. So all the energy will hit, and it's like this big burst of light coming through. And sometimes my heart will go like this, and my tummy will get the butterflies, and that's my psychic intuition reading. It's like that heart and the tummy, the butterflies, is my energy reading all of what's been presented, the time of it, like the whole timeline. So yeah, so that happens. So it's feeling the sense of joy, maybe a little nervous, but excitement, knowing that there's a lot of unknowns, but just you can feel it in your body that this could be amazing. And so those are some of the steps initially when I get opportunities. The opposing feeling when it's a no is my energy completely drops, my chakras close. And if I try and force it, and if I try and make excuses, and I'm like, well, maybe it could work this way, or maybe it could work that way. I try and talk myself into something.
Yes.
I start to get like irritated. I get agitated, like everything's bothering me, all the little things. And it's just my body's like shut down, and I feel on overdrive, and I'm not in my aligned frequency. So yeah, those are some of the ways that I can tell right away. After all these years, like I
Yes, you've been practicing for a long time, more than 20 years. So that's actually very helpful, even for our audience to really, when you set that surge of light, especially like in your tummy and then up to your heart, it reminds me that you mentioned that you were entrepreneur and then later on visionary, soul gift archetype. Both require really powerful actually solar plexus chakra. It's one of your like strong aura layers. So for people who have a strong, yellow aura around the solar plexus chakra, it's the gut instinct. It's almost like I feel it in my guts, like this is the correct way. And it won't surprise me if you take the quiz in the book, you will have all three soul gift archetypes because you're also a healer. So that's how you kind of see, right? So healer is like the heart chakra also lit up. So it's like the higher three. And I'm sure because of so many energy work that you've been doing on yourself, also your chakra is pretty clear. But I really like your describing, how it is feels like a full body yes, and how it feels like when it's a no. So can you share, since you've been on this journey for so long, can you share with our audience what are some tips or exercise if they are not there yet, like intuitively, when they make decision, they are not there yet, what would be something that they can do, maybe on a regular basis, that they can feel that or hear that or listen to that a little bit louder or more, or something that they can do that they feel more aligned? What if they kind of in that indifference? It's like I hear a thing, but I'm neither lit up or like shut down. Like, what do I do?
Yeah. Okay. So I'm already getting a message. So I'm going to share this first memory message that I'm getting, and then we'll go to the second part of the question. So they're bringing me back when I was in high school.
Okay.
Eek. And I would make some my parents would say not good choices. So, but
We all did.
I was learning. So the message to this is that anytime you feel like, ooh, I shouldn't have done that, you just learn from it. And that's how we grow as humans. And I would like sometimes put so much pressure, like, why, did I make that decision and get after myself? And one day my guides were like, would you forgive somebody else? I'm like, oh, easily, totally. They're like, then forgive yourself, and you're only human. So it's the journey, it's learning, it's understanding. And so things that don't have, like, I feel like they'd give me little things, like things that don't have a horrible outcome, like you get to choose between two, one's better than the other, but it's not horrible if you pick, the opposite one.
Yeah.
And so it's learning. And that's so important to let our kids learn and to not try and do things for them or give them the answers. We kind of have to learn our street smarts is what I had to learn. But I learned, I developed my intuition in that way. And like you said, it's the gut instinct. Like I would hang out, I meet new friends, and I kind of go into areas where I would feel the energy off, and I was like, oh, I gotta go. And I'd leave. And I'm really glad I did, because later on you'd find out, it wasn't a good thing if you were to stay in that environment. So it started for me quite young, and I needed that independence, and I needed the opportunities to test, my intuition.
Yeah,
so
right. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So today, if you're given opportunities, I would start with things that, if you can, just kind of do little exercises, things that aren't going to have a bad outcome. Maybe you say, let me just, my GPS says to go this way. Let me go a different way and see if I get there on time, or just turn the GPS off and pick your route. Like things that don't really matter, maybe 5 or 10 minutes difference, but start trusting your gut and your intuition with the daily activities. The things for me sometimes are like, oh, I know on my schedule I want to go to the grocery store today, but now's not the right time. Like you get a feeling, do not leave. And then later when I go out, I see there was an accident and I could have been in it because now I'm passing it by, right? So start listening to the little things and understanding. And also if you mess up, and then you go and you see the accident happen, still you're safe, but spirit's like, it's close call.
Now you know why, right?
Now
you know why you had that no initially, but you
Yeah.
didn't listen, you choose this, now it's so okay.
Yeah.
So that's like almost like a little experiment with yourself.
Yeah, building to the big things so that and there's been times where I almost made a decision and then it was like, oh no, I shouldn't, I can't. So like you get real close and it's like, okay, the feeling is like, if I start to feel sick, like,
Mhm.
nope, it's a hard no, forget it. So, and the thing is, sometimes you might hurt people's feelings, but you just have to go because spirit knows, they can see everything behind the scenes, and your intuition and all that is linked into guidance, and your intuition and your guides can see what will happen as a future outcome.
Right.
So,
Then
yeah.
how do you connect with your spirit guides? Like, how do you normally, do you talk to them while you
Mhm.
meditate, or like what's the, daily practical guidance that you can give our audience? How do you connect with your team?
Yeah. Well, when I first had my official connection was in that class in San Antonio, and my teacher did like a guided meditation to meet our guides, and then he was vetting all the energies, like a really clean energy environment and vetting. So that kind of kicked it off, and that was a guide that was helping me through that period of time. And now like he comes around every now and then, but not so much. Like that was a long time ago. So
Mhm.
now I talk to them, but they will communicate to me through memories and songs, and I'll just get phrases in my head, like little quotes. They'll just pop in my head, and they're really fun. So usually they're joyful quotes. And then they'll give me thoughts, a lot of the things that happen for me based on memory. So like when this happens to so many of us, like I'll think of a friend who I haven't talked to in forever, and
Mhm.
then like that day or the next day they message me. But now I've learned that if I keep thinking of them, why don't I just go ahead and message? Like there's a reason we're
Yes,
supposed to be connecting. So
right.
there'll be things like this, or like when our son when we were in California, I kept getting a prompting that he should be moved to schools, and
Okay.
and I just kept getting that, and then he told me about something that happened at school, and I was like, oh, there's my confirmation. I should have just jumped on it sooner. But like I'll get these intuitions, and like as parents, we have that is, we should follow it and ask, why am I hearing this, why am I getting this? So they're thoughts for me, messages for me. And then when that happens, I can then go into telepathic communication with them to get more details.
Mhm.
So that's where we are with things, that how it comes in my daily life. And it is different than in sessions with clients, because in sessions with clients, like I'm channeling through for an hour, whatever the team wants to share with them, whatever their guides feel that they need, or answers to any questions that they share. It's just a little bit different because throughout the day it's sprinkled in, and it'll be one topic at a time.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, just learning how to trust it is the trick. And
Yeah,
then it
that's right.
becomes
Trust it. Open, be open and trust it and actually take action upon it. That's
mhm.
such an important reminder of spirit connection. And like how has it helped you now you are more intuitively connected? Now for people who are really strongly connected to their intuition, what are some of the benefits of working with other intuitive or other channelers? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Oh my gosh, yes. It's been so the last 3 years I've been working with Oracle. It's
Okay.
ORYKL.com. And so it's a community of vetted channelers and healers. And we do exchanges with other professional channelers like monthly. And oh my gosh, it's been profound because like I have an awareness of things that are going on, but then they'll bring through clarity and details, and a lot of times, like in my sessions as well, I don't even ask the question and it comes in. So one day, this is like really interesting, but one day, and this is perfect, I had this memory of a realm that I've been a part of, like outside of this human life. And
Mhm.
it's this one particular color. And I remember having like these lucid dreams as a child, going here and everything. And I was like, wow, I forgot all about this. And why is it popping in? Like, I'm just in my house vacuuming or whatever, walking around, totally just doing life and
It's
not
random.
in
Okay.
meditation or anything. Yeah,
Yes.
walking around the house.
Uh-huh.
The next day, I had this exchange. And the first thing the channeler said was, oh, I see this color all around you.
Oh,
And it
wow.
was the exact color, and I was like, "Okay, I knew it." So, it was also a way that my team was letting me know, like, "Pay attention to this reading."
Mm,
Just, like, some important information, like, "This is divinely guided, and we're supporting it."
mhm.
And they had a lot of information about the year to come in my career and, like, what I
Oh,
need to do for my life path. Yeah, so, like, I'll feel it building, but then I get details, things I never thought about. And also in these readings, we get a lot of information. Like, I'm thinking back, "Oh, there's a few things I haven't acted upon, but the timing isn't right."
mm,
So, is like getting all this information, but then we use our awareness, our I'm going to call it our situational awareness. The Council of Light's been saying that lately, but it's kind of in a different context, meaning like read the time, read the space of your life, read the chapter. Like, is it appropriate for this chapter or not? And I have a couple of things that I know will be coming in a few months or a couple of years. But you get that information when spirit can come through with such a clear channel in a place where they know you're listening and you're taking notes, they'll deliver it. So I love working with other professionals because they give so much information and they'll specialize in certain modalities like astrology or gene keys or human design or, channeling one particular guide. And so while having awareness with that, I have my specialty. And so we all have amazing gifts to share with one another. And it's helped me when I was in Houston. We knew we were going to move, and all of my like recommendations to spirit or my requests was I want to be in nature and I don't know where that'll be. And then my husband's was like, make it fit his career path. And so we ended up in Arkansas where both, and I'm like surrounded. I've never been in so much nature in my whole life.
That's
But
awesome. Yeah. Crystals too. You
and
dig
crystals,
out of the backyard. That's crazy.
Yeah, I go dig crystals. I'm like, okay, well, here's one for those on videos. This like cluster that just came.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It's completely, yeah. So, but I had a reading right before. We didn't know he had not received a job offer. And she said to me, Gaia is preparing a space for you. There's a special space in the land. And if anybody watches my social, you'll see all the birds. Like I am surrounded by nature, and it was really healing to my nervous system. And it also supported my spiritual, like my gifts is it possible? But it is, we always are learning and growing, and my gifts have even heightened with clarity. So my channeling feels, like when they come in, it feels like high octane. I can hold more light now from the Council of Light.
Your light quotient, I call it the light quotient, has completely raised.
Yes.
And to me, you're like pure white light. It's like you're one of the beings or souls that I've met that closest to white. Because as I mentioned in the Aura Color Wheel book of the system, is that the more light quotient you hold, you're getting towards the center. Actually, you're like having all of the colors, and in the centers is actually the color of white. And I'm just very curious of like in terms of you connecting with the Council of Light. I know that's a special group of beings that you channel. How did you get first contact with them? And like, I'm just curious of what is the process. And then you decided to basically be their, channel from now on.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to grab my book too.
Okay.
So this, with a new cover, and I don't even have the new one. This is a proof, but Messages from the Council, this book, the information in it was channeled in 2014, and we're just now releasing, like it's available, but I'm waiting on the mail to deliver the one without the banner on it.
I will be the first to order it once it's available. Yeah.
Somebody messaged me this weekend. They already have a copy. I'm like, you got a copy before the author got a copy.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. Then I'll definitely grab mine. Yes.
Depends on where you are next to like the printer and everything. But so in Messages from the Councils, my personal guides came through, and there's 12 on my council team. And then myself will be like the 13th, because I did see my higher self there. And this whole book is all about it. They prepared me, like just with the remembering of my soul mission, a lot of guidance to stay on my path, like a lot of stuff that was kind of, and also I just recently channeled through. So we talk about gatekeepers in here, and gatekeepers are beings that help you be discerning of energies, and they don't let energies into readings that shouldn't be there. So they really keep it nice and clean and also help you stay on your path. And my gatekeeper came in this week in a channel session I did, and they were just like, we really don't care if we hurt people's feelings, because we're here to protect you. And I am always like, they're like, we have a mission, and we're not like the human. We see the grand, look of it all.
They always have a larger perspective of things. Yes,
they do. Yeah. So this book will give you lots of tips. And I was like, oh yeah, I need to really put my path first instead of getting in other people's drama. But anyway, so it's a good book for everybody, for human existence, and like how to balance spirituality with the human life. So, but that Council of Guides, my Council of Guides, introduced me to the Council of Light. as a part of what I'd be bringing through if I chose. And that's the thing. We have our path, but we get to choose here. So we have a lot of opportunities. When we've done the work, we'll be given more and more opportunities, and then we get to select and we get to choose. And I met a friend who did what's called physical mediumship. And I'd never seen or heard of that before, but I was like, oh, I bet I can physically channel, because I'd been doing Reiki since 2001. And so with all of that, your energy centers clear. And like you say, you can hold more light quotient and everything, like your aura is stronger. So I started working with Archangel Metatron, but his energy is really too strong for me. He tried to, like, I tried to channel him, and it was slow, and it just was a lot, because his energy is really strong for the body. So I wasn't there. So I was like, okay, no, I don't think so.
With that. I know exactly what you mean. He's one of the strongest of all the archangels in terms of
oh my
how
gosh,
fast and like how high the vibe is. I know exactly what you mean.
Girl, totally. Okay, so this is the book I wrote in California, Activating the Starseed.
He's the one I just literally talked to this morning. It's crazy that you mentioned, and
he's in this
book. Skill and that sea of life is still in my third eye, and then you sold me this. I'm like, okay, that's what it is.
Yeah, this is the book with Metatron, but I didn't channel him out my voice. It was automatic writing. But even in the book, I talk about it, how my head felt like it was like, oh, I gotta pull the energy into the body, because it was so strong around my mind. He's telepathically speaking to me, and I'm typing the whole book. But so people will get activations off both of these. And I have people that have messaged me that they slept with them when they first got them and were having like profound dreams. So the energy is quite amazing. And that's what they're for. They're activating. That's what the books are.
Yeah, that's right. I love that. Well, totally get your books. I'm going to get those 2 copies as well, because I have your book. I think it's The Optimal Guide of Channeling. And I absolutely love that. I felt the same way when I did automatic writing, like the channel writing for the Oracle Wheel book, and the quizzes was complete channel. And when I written down that huge amount of dates and times, like my head gets spinning. I'm like, okay, well, stop. Like, it's going too fast. Like, what's going on? I thought I was like kind of going out of, So it's like, so I totally get you. I totally, I felt that, when you mentioned that.
Yes.
So, if you want to type in the comment of how people can get your book, either a link or the title of the books, that would be awesome. Okay, here we go. So that's Amy's website, amysikarskie.com. Oh, since you're typing this, Amy, why don't you also share a little bit about, what sessions that you offer, like what you offer to the community, how do they get to work with you?
Okay, so yes, and I'm just going to say hi to everybody over on Instagram. I'm seeing all your messages. I'm so excited. And our friends here live on Facebook. Hello, or not Facebook, but YouTube. Hello. And maybe, are you on Facebook, Helen?
Yes, I'm on Facebook. Okay. That's right. Yeah.
All right. That's where I saw it. So at spiritschoolonline.com, I offer monthly energy sessions. And these are healing guided meditations. So when I'm channeling healing frequencies, I'm seeing what's happening. And so I'm letting y'all know, I'm guiding you through it. And a lot of people are seeing it before, like they're experiencing it. They know what's happening before I share. Every month is channeled and completely different. January so far was probably one of my favorites, and December previously, because they were activating the light body with very, very specific things. Like I never had been introduced before to this particular, like the nodes and the anatomy and the aura. And it's all about prepping to be prepared intuitively for the year. So that was quite amazing, this one. So you can have the replay. The meditation is available at spiritschoolonline.com, and you would go to the monthly healing sessions. And that takes place live every Thursday, the second Thursday of the month. And then on
I love we both pick Thursday to offer spiritual channeling. Thursday, if you don't know, Thursday's Jupiter's day, and that's like the ideal day to do spiritual practices. And it's just like coincide that Amy chose the second Thursday of the month to do Spirit School online. And I just had launched the Aura Evolution membership at the beginning of the podcast. And it's also going to be gathering on the every first Monday. Every first day of the month. That's so funny. So should join both of us actually.
Yeah.
So you get all spaces covered.
I was thinking about that too. I was like, yeah, that's amazing. And then I have a mentor group for those who are already, or if you're training to be a healer or reader. It's called the Sacred Healers Circle at Spirit School. And that one's by application. And we meet twice a month on Thursdays.
Yes.
We alternate day and evening, and we usually meet for 2 hours each time. I thought we could do an hour. No, it's just too good. There's so much information. So it's a mentoring. It's all channeled in the flow, whatever the group is needing, asking questions, messages from spirits, and also trainings. And then another thing that is really nice that right now I have is the Council of Light. And they're on a Sunday. They're on the third Sunday, 7 o'clock Central Time. And I invite you all to join if you're looking for inspiration, comfort, peace, like guidance. So I go into physical channeling where they come through and they will give messages of love and guidance and wisdom, and the community can ask questions. And if you want to do the healing session and the Council of Light, there's a membership package where you get a really good discount, plus all the previous messages from the council and meditation. So yeah, that's called the Light Connections membership, and you can find it at spiritschoolonline.com. So I'm just like really excited because I love working with the Council of Light, and Helen knows, but if you all are new to channeling, we're learning so much as we're channeling. And even in the one-on-one readings, it's amazing to see how their messages, they'll bring a message in and then they talk about it in some kind of roundabout way. And then at the end, it comes back and it's like a bow. And it's like, see, this is what we meant. And so they're always tying together a theme or a message to be something that's relatable and we can practically implement in our life, because we can channel high information like high intel, quantum physics, and we can talk about, timelines and sacred geometry. But if we don't understand what that means practically and how to make sense and utilize it and embody it, like we might get an energy hit from it, but how good is that if we don't embody it? So our work, Helen and my work helps us embody it and make it make sense in this life. Yeah.
That's so beautifully said. That's exactly how I felt. Because I've been actually getting quite a bit of order in spirit message readings lately. So for those of you who have ordered, please give me a little time. But I felt the same way as to what Amy was describing, is that once we receive the message, how do we embody it practically in the 3D realm? That's what our membership is about, right? So how we can practice it, horn into our daily life. Yeah. And I think Ruth has a question on the chat saying that I think she's been reading a book in the snowy weekend. So for people that are not star seeds and don't have counsel, what do they have? Just spirit guides or guardian angels?
Yeah. So Ruth, girlfriend, she's the one who has the copy. She sent me the picture. I'm like, that's amazing. Yeah. So she's been reading the book. And also, if you guys don't want to wait for a physical copy, it's in Audible. You can listen, and also Kindle. So star seeds, not everyone is a star seed, which is interesting. Avocado is saying that. So they're not. And it's interesting to feel that way. But I've met people who more come from like the elemental realm, the fairy realm. Their soul is first on earth rather than in other places. So there's different definitions of star seeds. So some is, where does your soul history, the linear aspect of it. Now in the future they could be, but if we're speaking linearly, then probably not, because there are some star systems that are no longer around. And so if you want to look at it like that, but also in the book, we talk about, there's a seed of light that the star seeds, if they volunteer, will bring this elixir seed of light in with them. And if you're here on the planet and you want to carry a seed of light, you can, but you have to go through all the processes to heal your energy field to hold that frequency. So if you are like a first-time soul in a body, in a reality, and you chose to come to Earth, you might have come in from the angelic realm. There's so many realms, but we all come from source. So it's just like wherever your experience has been. And so if you don't have the need for a council to be with you for a soul mission that is dedicated to more like working with others, as a healer or what have you, or a channeler or an artist, because we all have so many gifts. Like you could pick a path and you would be offering so much to Earth. But if you don't need a particular type of council, then you won't have them. Like I didn't work with the Council of Light in this reality until the time was that I, stepped into that role and I said, yes, let me channel them. And so if you're not a star seed, you won't have a council body of star seeds. So like my personal council body has beings from all the different star systems that I've been a part of and others, but also in my council body, I have elementals in there in the book. And a lot of star seeds work with dragons too. And we're the year of the dragon. So it's even more heightened and amazing.
I love that. Yep.
Yeah. So how do you know you're a star seed? Like I didn't even know what the term was, but I went into past life hypnosis sessions and I started seeing like visions. I was on other planets. There were mythical beings around and I was getting a lot of information. And then also actually before that, I was in a reconnective healing session and I was wondering about all this. And my guides took me out of body up and showed me a map of the stars. And I had no idea. I'm like, what is this? I have no idea. And they showed me the Merkaba. Like I saw all of this in vision before I knew what this was. So then I went and researched and I looked at the map and they took me to a constellation where I had one of my first incarnations. And the Merkaba explained to me, like when I looked it up, it's their light body. It's how I was leaving and going and traveling. So the thing is, and I was thinking about this today, I kind of made the mistake feeling like everybody has the same level of wisdom or morals and that like trusting, like being just really trusting. But, I've got burned. I think we all have, like, we feel like, oh, somebody's a good person, but then they like, you watch them hurt people and you're like, oh my gosh. So my team has been just sharing that everybody's in their own evolution and like that frequency. So we're here to support. And when you're here in capacities to work with mankind to hold a light and embody, you'll feel that. Like you'll feel that high ethical, moral integrity, like that compass inside, wanting the best for everybody. And there's no like saying nobody's better than anybody because we've all been in every space at every time and we're all learning.
Just like your past life experiences. What is your soul's experience in the past?
Yeah.
Brought to this point.
Yeah.
And I love your explanation. Now, how do someone know if they are a star seed or not? Past life regression. That's actually how I personally experienced that as well. In the Oracle book, I mentioned that when I was in a past life regression meditation, that my guides brought me into a planet that I had no idea. Very similar to Amy's experience, that I just visually see a turquoise blue planet. I had no idea what that means. And all of a sudden my vision has a crab like walking sideways. And I'm like, okay, so I'm spirit. There is a crab in a rocky planet, turquoise. What is that? Yeah. So I literally had to image Google it because it wasn't full information review. So I literally pinned it down, draw it at the best of my capacity. And then I image Google what it is. And crab nebula is what shows. And then I saw that picture. My whole body gets goosebumps. And then I almost turned into tears. I'm like, wow, that's home. Like that's like, as I'm talking about it, I still have full body chills. So that's the sensation. That's how I understand. Oh, okay, that's part of the Pleiadian star system, before I came to planet Earth. But as Amy said, I also met people who have more earthbound spirits with them, that they are the elementals, the animal kingdoms, or crystal kingdoms, or the fairy realms and all of that. So like we each have our own unique gift or lineage, like starseed or spirit lineage. So that's actually absolutely interesting. But that's actually how I found if I was a starseed or not. I'm curious, Amy, you mentioned about that your council or your personal team has a group of star beings.
Yeah.
Which star system or what are the star system that you personally resonate with and you're working with?
Yeah. So let me preface this. When I was interested in like when I first heard star seeds and I was like, oh, I have, life off planet, I did look back then on blogs and forums, and some of the energy was really heavy and it left me feeling like something's off here. And so my tummy just like turned in knots. I was like, this isn't right. So my team was saying, hey, we'll let you know, and we'll lead you to, like, they were just telling me, you don't go look. We're going to let you know when you need to know, and we'll lead you to all the guidance if there's like tools here, to help me remember. And so it's been really nice. So I've encouraged people to let it naturally unfold and go into meditation first and then see. So that's how I found. So they took me to Beta Centauri 2, which is Andromeda in that vision.
Yeah.
Very, very, very specific. And Hadarian is a star system that's no longer there. And I found it in one book. I don't even know. Actually, it found me. Somehow, how you get a book and you open it and there it is?
Yes.
And it's the only place I've ever, and I've got it somewhere on the bookshelf, but it's the only place I've ever found it spoken about, Hadarian.
Yes.
Yeah. And so that was that planet. And then later on, they were showing, I don't even remember because I let it slip. Like I just kind of let it go. It was either, I think it was Syrian or Orion. It's actually, I was in channel and it came through and they said it was surprising to me because I didn't know that information yet. And see, I forgot it because it was in channel.
Let it flow. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
So let that go. But then at my school, actually, if anybody gets one of these books, these two, and there's another third somewhere, I have it, a little purple one. You can leave a review by February 28th, and you get access to this transmission at Spirit School called Activations and Transmissions. And this is where the Council of Light, I'm in channel with them, in trance channel, and they invite in one at a time a being from a different star system. There's 7 opportunities here. And so you can feel the frequency and the vibration. And the one that I was feeling was the Lyrians. And that surprised me. And the second that I felt their energy, I just started crying. I had a heart connection and I didn't even know it. So the sacred remembrance and reconnection often is, it is 100% a personal experience, but often takes places when we've set aside time for a meditation or those opportunities. So if you it's an amazing experience. And if you buy any of these 2, you get that gift. And then Helen just showed my channeling book.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And I just put these gifts
any
together.
of those 3, leave a review and you can definitely have that connection with your team in Amy's membership. Please do.
Yeah, in the channel book, it's a different gift, but go to amysikarskie.com and go into books and you'll see all the gifts. But yeah, so Helen, I love the question. It's never ending. Like I'm always learning, and it's usually when I need the energy frequency, the skill, the gift from that lifetime that it comes through, because you're now embodying it more, to be supportive for this mission.
Yeah, that's absolutely beautiful. Well, thank you so much, Amy. I love this soulful and also high wide discussion of how you are in alignment with your purpose, like practical grounding tips, as well as how you receive information from the higher realms. And so this is the website, amysikarskie.com. Please go check out her membership as well as books. And then we both love to see you in person in LA for the Conscious Life Expo. And that's happening in first February 20th to the 22nd. So 3 days. And I will be giving a lecture on Friday, the 20th at 6 p.m. And Amy will be giving a lecture on Saturday at 2 p.m. And we will be there for all 3 days. So if you want to make a trip to LA, raise your vibration and come say hi for both of us, you're welcome. It's a weekend trip, right? From Friday to Sunday. And you come home raising your light quotient. Okay, so thank you so much, everybody. And thank you for those of joining us live. And if you didn't get a chance to join us live and want to listen to the audio, tomorrow this podcast will be on all the audio platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music. All right, so thank you, Amy, for joining me today, and I will see everybody next Monday for our next episode.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.